The episode began with a sudden earthquake that shook the entire Universe 7. The Earth trembled under everyone's feet, and from above, the inhabitants of planet Earth and Goku's friends felt an unfamiliar jolt. Some felt something oddly familiar, while others sensed that something terrible was happening for the first time, as if the universe itself was experiencing a deep, violent tremor. On Beerus' planet, in the training arena, Goku stood before Whis, his eyes glowing with rage, his face tense and strained. Suddenly, without warning, Goku let out a thundering scream. Goku shouted and
"Hey guys! What's up? It's your boy Brian, and today we're reacting to something absolutely insane. I haven't seen it yet, so everything you'll get is real-time, raw reactions only. Grab your snack, let's do this."
extremely tense. Goku, this power, it can't be, Whis said. If this continues, these tremors will reach all universes within moments. In Zeno's palace, at that moment,
Oh
the
man,
endless hall
here we
in
go.
Zeno's palace shook
That
abruptly,
intro already
causing
looks
Zeno to
serious.
stop playing. The tremors grew stronger, and everything around him began to ripple. Zeno stared with his shining eyes and asked with curiosity,
Okay, can we talk about that for a second? That was intense, and it's just getting started.
Very carefully, replied, "Don't worry, Zeno. It's just a simple cosmic tremor. Nothing to be concerned about." But it was clear in his eyes that he was hiding something. He knew very well that this tremor wasn't a random or natural occurrence. The truth he was hiding from Zeno was that these tremors were a direct result of Goku's scream, and as he tried to calm Zeno down, he said to himself with a smile, "Now is not the time to tell you the truth, Zeno. If you find out now, you'll only hasten your death." At the moment Goku's scream reached its peak, planet Beerus exploded entirely. It wasn't just a normal explosion, it was as if reality itself had been torn apart. In a single instant, the planet turned into scattered fragments floating in space, and the shockwaves from the explosion extended across the universes, making
Whoa.
everyone feel them.
That's actually
Beerus
clever.
screamed as he sent out a distress signal across the universes. "Destroyers, hear me. We are facing a threat unlike anything we've seen before." His voice was full of worry. In the space surrounding the destroyed planet's location, everyone had arrived. The gods of destruction, sensing the danger, appeared instantly. Whis was the only one who remained calm. After minutes of screaming, Goku finally quieted down, but he was no longer the same. Goku stood, his body burning with an incomprehensible energy. His
I didn't see that coming. Like, that twist was insane.
awe-inspiring voice. "Where is Zeno?" Everyone looked at each other in confusion. No one understood the reason behind this request. Why did Goku want to meet Zeno in such an aggressive way? But the only one who understood was Whis. Whis already knew the truth. He lowered his head slightly, trying to hide his tension. He was the one who told Goku, and he had promised his father, the Grand Priest, to keep the secret hidden. Goku stood in the void, wanting only one answer. He said in a low, threatening voice, "Take me to Zeno, now." Tension filled the air. The destroyers exchanged glances. They didn't like this approach. They were the ones who gave orders, who set the terms. And now, a mere mortal dares to threaten them? That was unacceptable. Kampa stepped forward and said, "Do you think we'll move just because you asked? Who do you think you are?" "We are the gods of destruction." Belmod folded his arms and said, "We won't take you to Zeno until you explain why. Have you lost your mind or what?" Goku took a deep
Here
breath,
it comes.
as if trying to control himself.
No way, he
then
really
said
did
slowly,
that.
"I've learned the truth, that Zeno is the reason my people were killed." The words fell like a thunderbolt. Even though they didn't understand the details, Goku's power suddenly surged, as if merely speaking the truth had caused his rage to erupt again. But what no one
Okay. I need a moment. That was wild. Rewind that in your head.
Shockingly, if you're looking for who killed your people, don't look far. We were part of it too. We destroyed their planet, but on Zeno's orders. Time froze for a moment. Everyone stared in shock. Whis, who knew what was coming, widened his eyes slightly and said, "They've fallen into the trap. Things are out of control now." As for Goku, his features froze. his mind refusing to process what he just heard. It wasn't just Zeno who was responsible. One of the gods tried to de-escalate the situation, saying, "You're just a mortal. Your anger means nothing. You can't threaten us. We are the gods of destruction." But the words didn't reach Goku. In less than a second, before anyone could grasp what happened, Goku vanished from his spot, then appeared in front of the god, his fist piercing through his chest. A blink of an eye.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting that move. That's genius or insane, no in between.
Been killed so easily, not by a grand priest, not by Zeno, but by someone they considered merely a mortal. A dreadful silence filled the space. Everyone was shaken. Some took a step back. Even Beerus couldn't hide his
I can't
fear.
believe this is
Goku
happening.
had completely lost control and said, "I will not forgive you." Beerus opened his mouth to respond, but found no words. There was no excuse, and no escape from Goku's fury. Whis tried to step in, speaking calmly. "Goku, please calm down. Rage won't solve anything right now." Goku interrupted him with a deafening scream, making everyone flinch. He slowly raised his hand, pointing toward Whis, and said in a firm tone,
This escalated quickly.
"To Zeno's palace now, or I'll end you all." The shock was evident on Beerus' face, while Whis remained calm, but he knew the situation was critical.
Let me catch my breath. This video is a roller coaster.
To calm him down now. Whis took a deep breath and said, "Goku, we can't take you now. Then I'll count to 10. If you don't, it'll be your end." Goku began counting, and with each passing second, his energy increased insanely until the space around them began to crack from the pressure. The observing gods couldn't believe someone was threatening an angel like this. At that moment, Whis felt something strange. The fabric of space tore open, and from it emerged several luminous beings. They were Whis' siblings. They stood in a single line, each radiating the same terrifying calm, but their energy felt like an impenetrable wall. One of them, staring directly
Wow,
at Whis,
just
said,
wow.
"We've surpassed the temporal boundaries. We must intervene now." In the blink of an eye, Goku dashed forward with a speed no one could follow. He suddenly appeared before another god and landed a single punch, destroying his body completely. The Grand Priest, who had been watching everything from the shadows, realized the situation had become far too dangerous. It had exceeded all his calculations, and he had to intervene immediately. In an instant, before Goku could deliver another blow, a bright light appeared, and Goku vanished completely. Everything stopped. The gods and angels didn't understand
Respect.
what had happened, but Whis alone realized the truth. He spoke in a low voice, lowering his head. "My father sent him to a prison in another dimension." Everyone stared at Whis in shock, while Beerus, still shaken by what had just occurred, said, "What? Where?" Whis answered with a grim calmness, "To a place that no one knows." And so, Goku disappeared, but everyone knew this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning.
He's going all in now.
After Goku vanished, everyone stood frozen in disbelief. No one dared to ask anything, until the Grand Priest broke the silence. "Come with me now, no questions." No one objected, even Beerus stayed silent. It was clear something was being hidden. Beerus sat on his restored planet, fury burning in his eyes. He turned to Whis angrily. "Goku has crossed all limits." Whis replied, "Things got out of control. This wasn't part of the plan." Beerus snapped, "He killed a god of destruction in front of everyone. He destroyed my planet. That is unforgivable. I'm going to Earth, and I'll destroy it." After his planet was restored, Whis was ordered to take him to Earth. Upon arrival, the others had already sensed his terrifying power before he appeared. They stood in tense silence until Krillin muttered, "Why is Lord Beerus coming with such—"
All right. We're 9 minutes in and I'm officially hooked. Didn't think it'd be this intense.
"Who did something unforgivable, and now I will destroy this planet." Vegeta stepped forward, furious. "I won't let you destroy this planet." Beerus looked at him with disdain and replied, "Goku didn't get angry for no reason. It was Zeno who ordered the extermination of the Scions." Everyone froze in place,
That was bold.
shock written across their faces. Vegeta's eyes widened as if struck by lightning. Gohan gasped, "That's impossible. Seeing the disbelief and horror in their eyes only deepened Beerus' contempt. He raised his hand high and began charging an immense energy, glowing with a terrifying light that threatened everything. Beerus said in a grim tone, "But none of that matters. It's time to end this planet." And just as he was about to unleash his devastating attack, suddenly,
Respect to them for
he
even
was struck
trying
by
that.
an enormous, invisible force. His body was flung into the air before crashing violently into the ground, causing an explosion that made everyone fall back. He hit the ground hard, a look of utter shock on his face. Everyone looked around frantically, but there was no one there. Krillin said in fear and confusion, "Who did that?" But Whis was the only one who understood the truth instantly. His eyes widened in real shock, and he swallowed hard before whispering just one word. It was Goku, even though he was imprisoned in another dimension.
Alright, this has to be one of the craziest videos I've seen lately.
Force that stopped Beerus. I just felt it now. In the other dimension, Goku sat on the ground, staring into the surrounding darkness, sparks flickering in his eyes. He clenched his fists tightly and began speaking to himself in intense anger. "Beerus, he tried to destroy Earth. How dare he? Everyone's betraying me one after another." Suddenly, the place trembled, and a strange light appeared in the midst of the darkness. Goku looked toward the source, only to see a strange figure emerging from the shadows. His features were unclear, and his aura was terrifying. Before he could finish his thoughts, a powerful aura appeared in the distance, followed by slow footsteps, yet they carried an indescribable majesty. A being approached, whose features resembled those of the gods of destruction, but he was different, closer to mythical kings. He stopped in front of Goku and said in a deep voice, "Goku, the time for my mission has come." Goku said, "Who are you? And why was I sent here?" "I was the king of existence before Zeno appeared. I ruled over everything, but after a long conflict, I was exiled to this dimension. Now, I have a chance to return." Goku froze in place, stunned by what he heard. Goku said in amazement,
That was bold.
"A king before Zeno? Why are you telling me this now?" Zalama looked at him with a cunning gaze and said, "Because you will be my way out of here. I made a deal with the Grand Priest. If I complete my mission, I will be freed, and my mission is you." Goku stepped back slightly. He said with irritation, "Me? What does the Grand Priest have to do with all this?" Zalama replied, "The Grand Priest knows your power has exceeded all expectations. He feared you'd become a threat to his plans, so he sent me to tame you, or rather, to forge a merciless monster.
I can't believe
And
this
if
is
you
happening.
cooperate with me, I will grant you immortal power, power that can end any king with a single blow." Goku's eyes widened when he heard that. Goku said, "One blow? I can avenge Zeno." Zalama said, "Yes, but power is not granted easily." Suddenly, without any warning, Zalama delivered a crushing punch to Goku's stomach. Goku's body flew several meters before crashing into the ground, groaning in pain. Zalama said, "This is only the beginning. To gain that power, you must die and be reborn. With every blow, you'll lose something, but gain everything." And so, Zalama unleashed a storm of devastating strikes on Goku, one after another. Goku was in agony, screaming, trying to resist, but his body couldn't handle it. In every moment, he felt as if his very cells were disintegrating. Every strike planted more hatred and rage inside him. Zalama wasn't just training Goku, he was forging a weapon. After a long period of brutal training, the mission was complete. Goku had changed completely. His heart had become extremely cold. There was no longer any room for mercy or forgiveness. He began to shout with a tremendous voice that shook the surroundings. "Where is Zeno? Where is he?" His excitement was about to explode. But suddenly he stopped. The ancient king spoke with a calm yet wise voice. "Remember, Goku, don't rush. Don't focus your power on random revenge. First, you must direct your focus toward Zeno alone. Make your goal clear. And don't pay attention to the Grand Priest. He was part of a plan far greater than you can imagine." Goku nodded, his face full of determination, then spoke in a cold voice. "I understand. Zeno comes first." The ancient king sent a message to the Grand Priest informing him of the mission's success. In that message, there was something important. The final blow is now in Goku's hands. He has become the unbeatable weapon. Goku prepared to return to the world he knew. In his mind, his first target was Earth. When he arrived, he discovered that Beerus was already there, about to destroy the planet. All the friends on Earth were in shock, asking in fear, "Where has Goku been? How did he appear suddenly?" While Beerus shouted in astonishment, "How did he come here? How did he get this power?" Whis was also in a state of shock, trying to understand what was happening, his eyes filled with questions. "Goku? How?" Goku, whose expression was terrifying, looked at them with a cold, revengeful gaze. He asked in a firm, harsh tone, "I've come because I will have my revenge. No one will stand in my way anymore." Everyone realized that this was not the Goku they once knew. He had turned into something else. Beerus looked at Goku, his eyes full of fear and regret. His voice trembled.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second? That was intense, and it's just getting started. All right. We're 9 minutes in and I'm officially hooked. Didn't think it'd be this intense.
As he spoke, "Go, please, don't do it. Don't kill me. Don't destroy everything. Forgive me, please." But Goku stood firm, his eyes full of anger and vengeance. There was no room for turning back, no place for mercy. He had lost everything, and everyone around him was paying for the sins committed against his people. Goku said in a quiet yet deadly voice, "I won't forgive you. This won't end until you pay for everything. I'll end you and go for the rest." With a single strike, Goku unleashed the final blow. An enormous energy burst exploded from his hand, piercing through everything in its path. Beerus fell to the ground, surrounded by massive destruction, leaving everyone in complete shock. No one was ready to witness this horrifying transformation in Goku. Vegeta, who had been watching everything, stood frozen, deeply confused and silent. He couldn't believe what he had seen. Goku's expression now was beyond belief. Goku spoke calmly, as if the whole world was fading around him. "I won't stop. I will avenge my people. And if you truly consider me a friend, don't get in my way. I'm going to the palace now." No one had anything to say. As he headed toward the palace, the place began to tremble. The great powers that resided in the palace had sensed Goku's presence. The guards started moving swiftly, ready to protect the king at any cost.
That was bold.
While the entire palace shook due to Goku's approaching power. The tremor in the palace alarmed everyone inside. The guards braced themselves to fend off the attack. They knew this wasn't an ordinary threat. Goku no longer resembled the person they once knew, and he was ready to destroy everything in the name of vengeance. The palace prepared for defense, but Goku had already crossed all the barriers, and the end was approaching. The entire structure of Zeno's palace shook from its foundation to the top. The walls trembled, and the guards froze in their positions.
Bro, I can't believe this is happening.
An energy never before present in this sacred place. Deep inside the palace, Zeno sat quietly with childlike calm and said, "What is this? Who dared bring such chaos into my world?" The Grand Priest approached, bowed slightly and said, "Grand Priest, it's Goku, my lord." It seems he suddenly rebelled without warning. Zeno raised his eyebrows with slight surprise. "Goku? The one I used to play games with? Why would he rebel? Did we do something to him?" The Grand Priest turned his face slightly and lowered his voice. "Grand Priest, I don't know, my lord. Maybe he was affected by strange forces or driven mad by power. There's no clear explanation yet." He said it while fully aware that everything happening now was part of his plan, though he never expected Goku's power to reach this level. Outside, the guards had gathered in front of the throne gate, preparing to stop the threat. But Goku feared no one. He said sharply, "Open the gate. I want Zeno's head." The guards charged without hesitation. A wave of energy swept the place, but Goku didn't move. He stood still, looking at them as if watching children trying to stop a storm. And as they got closer, an
That's actually clever.
aura burst from his body. An aura like an ancient royal flash, not of Zeno's era, but something older, deeper, terrifying. The guards were horrified and instantly backed away. In a strange moment of silence, the throne gate opened, and Zeno walked out slowly, staring into Goku's eyes. "Goku, why do you look different? What do you want?" With blazing eyes that carried no mercy, and in a tone no one had ever heard before, Goku said with,
I'm really enjoying this animation. I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This helps us to keep the channel always with new videos, and promoting the content of different channels. Please, this will be very good for us to improve more and more in the next videos and bring videos that you may not know yet.
the voice that sounded as if it came from the depths of darkness. Before I end you, it's only fair you know why I came to kill you. Zeno stared at Goku's face, confused. Kill me? I never did anything to you. I always played with you. Goku smirked bitterly. Play? Were you playing when you ordered the extermination of my people? My people, whom I still don't know how or why they died. You are the reason, Zeno. You are the root of the pain. For the first time, Zeno's heart trembled. He had no idea what Goku was talking about. His childish eyes widened with genuine shock. I didn't know.
That was bold.
But he didn't realize that Goku was no longer the naive man who believed so easily. The guards rushed in again, one final attempt to protect the king. One of them shouted, "Guard, don't get near Zeno. We'll protect him even if we die." But Goku didn't wait this time. He said in a cold voice, "The age of blind loyalty is over." He raised his hand, and that dark golden light appeared, the final blow. In a blink, before anyone saw the move, a massive energy exploded, tearing through the place. The guards fell one by one.
Bro, I can't
silently,
believe this is
without
happening.
resistance. Zeno stepped back, trembling. For the first time in his life, he felt real fear. He never imagined Goku would reach this point. And in the corner, the Grand Priest watched silently. He smiled wickedly and murmured, "Grand Priest, it is done. Goku is unleashed, and Zeno will die." Without saying another word, he turned and left, disappearing through a secret dimensional gate, knowing there was no point in staying. Even if Zeno begged him now, nothing could stop fate. "Farewell, my lord. You are no longer fit for the throne." In the heart of the palace, Goku stood alone, staring at Zeno, who was no longer the terrifying being that once scared universes, but just a small child before the wrath of the very universe he had shaped. "It's time to end this, Zeno. I will no longer leave the root of evil behind," Zeno said in a shaky tone. "I destroyed your people because I was afraid." The energy they carried resembled that of the ancient kings, the kind that could destabilize the balance between universes, even awaken something from the past, something I don't want to return. Goku stepped forward and shouted, "You wiped out an entire nation because of your fear?" The guards tried to intervene, but the palace shook again. The walls groaned deeply, and the air grew heavy. Then invisible lightning bolts began striking Goku's body repeatedly, as if the
If you liked it as much as I did, click like and subscribe. New reactions every week and videos you probably haven't seen. If you want me to comment on your video, leave it here in the comments. See you next time.